What's wrong with him?
Bad back or something with the back ribs or something like that. That he got hit in the Chicago game late in the second period and didn't play the third period. Came out and had one. Tried to get through it and couldn't get through it, and then was real sore yesterday. And he looked at the doctors yesterday, and there's going to be he's going to be some time. So too bad. He was a good player for us on the trip. You know, that speed and tenacity but it's an opportunity for somebody else.
Dave, I just want to ask about Ethan Bear and in his first few games here. What have you liked about him? And then I guess what do you want to see improve from him going forward here?
I like the way he's played. He's played some heavy minutes for us. Him and his partner have played in a lot of critical situations. Moves the puck well, really got a mindset of defending, knows he's playing against good players every night and has to do a lot of things right, and has been just really steady. And it's credit to him. He's really, he prepared hard this summer. He prepared hard in training camp, and he's earned the right to be where he's at. So him and Nurse have been a good pair for us, and we need them to continue to be a good pair for us and just be steady.
Just about your special teams, both are right up near the top. What's the challenge in keeping those blades sharp and keeping that consistency that you've had in the early season?
Well, both of them have their challenges. Obviously, our power play hasn't changed that much from last year, other than Neeler's kind of jumped in there and takes some of that. But those guys have played together for a long time, so there's a lot of things that they do that they're in sync with. So hopefully that can continue the way that goes. Our penalty kill, I like our personnel. We've got some personnel that's really done a good job. Our goaltending has been pretty steady with it. Jim Playfer has done a great job with the units and making sure we're prepared on who we're playing. So both have been pretty steady, and we just hope that they stay that way.
Dave, looking at the chase-on move up to Nugent Hopkins and Neal, what do you like about that move? What are you hoping he adds to that line?
Well, we're trying to get Chaser a little more engaged. He missed about a week or 7 or 8 days there to some illness, so we're trying to get him going here a little more. With Nygaard being out, we were looking for another left winger, so we flipped Neeler over there, and Chason was a guy we wanted to have a look with Nuge and Neeler. So hopefully he grabs that opportunity, goes up there. He's been around some chances lately, hasn't capitalized, so hopefully maybe capitalize with those guys.
Obviously, you want to get some goals out of your bottom six, but the last 2 games, they've had a lot more chances. Do you feel like they're trending in the position where you think some goals are going to come?
We were talking about that this morning. Like they have had some good chances, so it'd be nice to see some of those go in for them. It just doesn't matter if you're top 6 or bottom 6. It's nice to see you get a couple points, get on the board there a little bit. You just feel better about their game. Although, I've liked their games the whole trip. The Sheehan line has played well, and Granlund going in there has had his best games, at center ice with her so far, because he's a little more involved in the game. So we'll see how it goes tonight. But there's those guys want to score. It's not as if they don't want to help out on that end, but as long as they're cleaning up some of the other stuff that we need and can take some minutes, especially minutes you play in the offensive zone, they're doing a good job for us.
How do you educate Person as to how the NHL game's played to stay away from the hits that he would not see in Europe?
I think there's some that have, I think the speed and the recognition of guys just aren't going to skate by you like in big ice hockey is something that he's going to, as he continues to go on here, is going to certainly have to be aware of. And that's usually, there's young players, or not young players, but players come from Europe. There's just more hitting here. There's more action in a smaller confined space. So you just have to brace yourself, know that it's coming a little more. Sometimes those are just hard lessons to learn.
Dave, so you lose Adam Larson first game of the season. Some guys have to pick up those minutes. Now you lose Nygaard, depth guy, but a guy that someone's got to pick up those minutes. Is this where teams that succeed? Is this to?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think our 2 young defensemen have gone in there and stabilized for us. So you know, we talk about it's an opportunity for somebody else, and it's, you know, look at the opportunity those young guys have taken. Now, you know, we've had forwards that have been itching for a little more time. Chase on being one of those. So Nygaard coming out, Chase on going up. Hopefully we can maximize his usage a little more. But you know, it puts emphasis on everybody doing their job. Everybody has to contribute in some way, and injuries they happen to every team. We've got a couple of them now that we have to deal with, but we still have to go out there and do what we have to do to win every night, and that's where a player's mindset is.
Dave, talking about Alex Chason, what kind of a different dynamic does a line present when both wingers are on their off wings?
He's not on his off wing. They're on their strong sides. Yep.
All right, so I'll stand corrected. And just a quick comment on Patrick Russell and Mikko Koskinen drawn in since the Devils game.
Cost is that's a simple one that we have the luxury of having two goaltenders that are playing well, and we can always have a fresh guy in there. You know, so it's that fine line of making sure they're in a groove and feel good about their game, but always being fresh to play. So Kost comes home, and he's had a couple games off. He's rested and he's ready to play. Patrick Russell coming in tonight is adding a forward. That line he played with Sheehan and JJ and the Island was a really good line for us. Really played well. So that's the thinking, bringing him back in. He gives us some of that tenacity and real workman-like approach that Nygaard had in there for us. So he jumps into that spot, and I'm hoping that line plays like they did in the Island. All right, thanks.